Hey gang, today we are going to discuss subtracting using expanded form and the standard algorithm. Earlier this week we have added using expanded form and the standard algorithm. Today we're going to subtract. So please pause, write this title on the next free page in your math notebook, and when you're ready to go, unpause. So real fast, just as a quick review, we added in our last couple of lessons, we did say a problem like 325 plus 217. If we used expanded form to add those, we did something like this. We took the two numbers, broke them into expanded form, and 200, 10, 7. And we added in this direction. We went from the ones up through, say, the hundreds. And we did like this. 5 and 7 made 12 in the ones place. But since we can't have two digits in the ones place, we left the ones and we took these 10 and made them one extra 10. And then we added our tens, got 40. And then we added our hundreds, got 500. And we ended up with 542. And if we use the standard algorithm, it really worked the same way. Just we kind of did the carrying part a little more efficiently. We did like 5 plus 7, and same thing. We wrote our 12 in the ones, but we took this 10 and regrouped it as a 10. Instead of writing 10, since it's already in the tens place, we just kind of said 1 and made that be 4 tens and 500s, 542. Check. Check. So we're going to do the same two strategies today as we subtract. So let's look at a problem like this. The library at Five Forks has 25,275 books, lots of books. The Artie Head Media Center has 9,534. How many more does Five Forks have? So let's start with the expanded form strategy here, because I think that makes the standard algorithm look a lot easier. So let's take our Five Forks books and write them in expanded form. 20,000 plus 5,000 plus 200 plus 70 plus 5. And when I'm subtracting now, and I've got to make sure that I line up each place with the same place. Like I'm going to line up my 4 ones with my 5 ones, my 3 tens with my 7 tens, my 5 hundreds with my 2 hundreds, my 5 thousands with my 5 thousands, and I don't have any 10,000s in the Artie Head numbers, so I'm not going to worry about those. You can think of it. You can think of it as being 0 10,000s if you want. You don't have to write it. You can if you prefer. So same thing. When I subtract, just like when I add, I'm going to work from my ones up to my 10,000s. So 5 ones minus 4 ones would leave me with 1 1. 7 tens minus 3 tens would leave me with 4 tens. Nothing too bad so far. But over here I have an issue I can't deal with, right? When I run into my 200s minus my 500s, I can't do that. I can't take 500 from 200. It's not enough. So this kind of works as the opposite of adding. In adding, we would add them up, and if we had too many, we would regroup a set over here. What we do when we subtract is the opposite of that. I'm going to take 1,000. I'm going to take 1,000 from here, and I'm going to regroup it as a whole extra 1,000 over here. So now I've got 12 hundreds in my hundreds here. It's like 10 hundreds. I took 1,000 and I made it into 10 hundreds so that I could subtract my hundreds here. So I took one, and now I can do 1,200 minus 500. I can do that. and make 700. So we regroup kind of in the opposite direction when we subtract. Rather than regrouping up to the next, we regroup down from the larger place to the smaller place. And now I'm going to change colors because I have to do that again. Now, thanks to that regrouping, I've got 4,000 minus 5,000, which I can't do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a 10,000 and I'm going to repackage it as 10 1,000s, as 10,000. And that way, that lets me do 14,000 minus 5,000, which I can do, which I couldn't do before. So 14,000 minus 5,000 is 9,000. And 10,000 minus no thousands is 10,000. And would you believe, when I put this number back to standard form, Five Forks has 19,741 more books than Artie Head has. It's a lot more books. Let's do that same thing using the standard algorithm, and you'll see it works the same way. So this time, instead of expanded form and writing it out like this, I'm going to give myself space. All the steps are going to be the same. It's just sort of a more efficient way to write it. Remember, standard algorithm, standard means normal, algorithm means set of steps. So this is sort of the normal set of steps that people take when they subtract. Sort of the most efficient, last possible way. So I've got all my places lined up. I have no 10,000, so everything's lined up where it goes. And just like here, 5 ones minus 4 ones made 1 1. 5 minus 5 minus 4 makes 1 in the ones place. 7 tens minus 3 tens made 4 tens. 7 tens minus 3 tens makes 4 tens. And then this is where I had to start regrouping, is when I got here, right? So over here I took 1,000 and made it into 10 hundreds so that I could do that. I'm going to do the same thing here. Since I can't do 2 minus 5, 2 hundreds minus 5 hundreds, I'm going to take 1,000. I'm going to take one away, and I'm going to kind of package that 1,000 as 10 hundreds. 10 hundreds make 1,000. And now I can do 12 hundreds minus 5 hundreds make 7 hundreds. 700, 700s. And then I have the same issue here, right? I can't do 4. I think I have it wrong. I did a wrong number over there, didn't I? I'm so sorry. This was supposed to be a 9, which would make that a 15,000 more books than us. That makes a lot more sense. So in any event, same thing though, right? I can't do 4 minus 9, 4,000s minus 9,000s. So I've got to take a 10,000 and package it up as 10 1,000. So now I've got 14 1,000s in the thousands place, which I would never leave, but since I'm subtracting, 14 minus 9 makes 5, and I'm okay in my answer. I've got just one digit in my thousands place, and 1 10,000 minus none makes 1. So 15,741 more books at Five Forks than we have. Let's do one together. All right. So it says a man recently won $52,681 in the lottery. 8,493 were taken for taxes. How much money did the man receive? He loses a lot of money to taxes if you win the lottery. So let's start with our expanded form strategy. So he won 50,000 plus 2,000 plus 600 plus 80 plus $1. And they took from him for taxes 8,000. Remember, I'm going to line that up with my thousands. Plus 400s plus 9 tens plus 3. Oh, I picked one that's going to have a lot of regrouping just so we can get the hang of that. And here we go. So let's see how much money the guy actually won from his $52,000 in the lottery. Alright, so I can't take 3 ones away from 1 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to regroup a 10. I'm going to take 1 10 from the 80, and I'm going to make it into 10 ones. So now I've got 11 in the ones place, which I would never leave in my answer. but 11 minus 3 leaves me with 8 ones. That's okay. 1 1 in ones place. Again, I can't do 7 tens minus 9 tens, so I'm going to have to go over a place. I'm going to take 100, and I'm going to repackage the 100, regroup the 100 as 10 tens. So now I have 17 tens instead of just 7. And I can do 17 tens minus 9 tens, or 170 minus 90. Leaves me with 80. This I can do with no regrouping. 500s minus 400s is 100. 2,000 minus 8,000, no can do, so I'm going to go over a place. I'm going to borrow or regroup a 10,000 and repackage that 10,000 as 10 1,000s. So then I have 12 thousands minus 8 thousands. Leaves me 4 thousands. And there's nothing to do here. 40,000 minus, I don't have any 10,000s here, so 40,000. So it looks like the guy won $44,188. Still not a bad haul, but quite a bit less than he initially won in the lottery. Let's try that with the standard algorithm. Works the same way. We just don't write out all the zeros. This just helps you understand where, a lot of you already know this standard algorithm, and I just kind of wanted you to know where it came from. So 52,681, take away his 8,493 in taxes, and let's see where he ends up. So you'll notice, since this is side by side, you're going to see everything that happened here happen over here. It just makes a little more sense to me when you've seen it in expanded form first. Since I can't take 3 from 1, I'm going to regroup 110 as 10 ones. 110 and 10 ones are the same thing, because that then lets me do 11 minus 3 to make 8. And then I have to do it again here. I can't take 9 tens from 7 tens. So what I end up doing is I regroup 100 into 10 tens. 10 tens makes 100, so I'm going to regroup 100 as 10 tens because that lets me subtract 17 minus 9. Makes 8. No regrouping necessary here. I can take 400s away from 500s. And then I will have to regroup here because I can't take 8 from 2. So I take a 10,000 and I regroup it as 10 1,000. 1 10,000 or 10 1,000s. They even sound the same. Are equal things. So I can do 12 minus 8. 12,000s minus 8,000s is 4,000s. And 4 10,000s minus no 10,000s is 4 10,000s. And I end up with the same $44,188. I'd still take it. Not a bad lottery winning. After you have paused and gone ahead and copied these down in your notes, you are all set for the day. If you need to go back and review anything, please do. If this didn't make sense, please make sure you make the most sense out of this you can before calling it a day. And we will finish up with your you-dos tomorrow.